But the Bible predicts a coming time of peace for the Middle East, which obviously has been a ceaseless war zone since 1948, when the modern state of Israel was founded. I mean, the Middle East is turbulent, tense territory. But the Bible does say there's going to be a time of peace for Israel in the future. Daniel 9:27 talks about a 7-year peace treaty the Antichrist will forge with the nation of Israel. It says, and he will make a firm covenant with the many for 7 years. Now that word firm there can mean confirm or make strong. So it could mean that the Antichrist, when he comes along, will confirm or strengthen some kind of peace framework that already exists. What we see taking shape could be the beginning stages of that. But that word there, that the idea of a firm covenant, can mean to compel or force. So like what President Trump did when he basically forced and compelled Israel and Iran to come to the peace table, how he rebuked them both and kind of strong-armed them into this peace deal, this ceasefire, that could be the same thing that the Antichrist does at some point in time. The Antichrist, the ultimate strong man, may use his supernatural satanic power to force the parties to peace. But either way, what we see today could be the setup for that coming peace for Israel. Now, the peace will be broken at the midpoint. The Antichrist will double cross Israel, but they will have a peace for 3.5 years. There's also in the Bible a time of global peace that's coming. The Bible predicts a brief time of peace after the rapture at the beginning of the tribulation. 1 Thessalonians 5 says in verse 1, now, brothers and sisters, about times and dates we do not need to write to you, for you know very well that the day of the Lord will come like a thief in the night. While they are saying peace and safety, destruction will come on them suddenly as labor pains on a pregnant woman, and they will not escape. So the world's going to be saying peace and safety. It can look like it's finally been achieved. In Revelation 6, you have the first 2 seal judgments, the opening of the tribulation. And the first seal is the counterfeit Christ, the Antichrist. So as I looked, and there was before me a white horse. Its rider held a bow, and he was given a crown, and he rode out as a conqueror bent on conquest. And I believe this is a peaceful conquest. You say, well, how do you know that? Well, because the next seal, the second seal, the rider on the red horse, it says takes peace from the earth. It says, when the Lamb opened the second seal, I heard the second living creature say, come. Then another horse came out, a fiery red one. Its rider was given power to take peace from the earth and to make people kill each other. To him was given a large sword. So obviously, if the rider on the second horse takes peace from the earth, then there had to be peace for him to be able to take it. So the peace at the beginning of the tribulation period, though, I think will end very suddenly. But coming back now to the present, I think the sudden, shocking turn of events in the Middle East we're witnessing right now could be the beginning of a stunning shift to peace that's paving the way for that Middle East peace predicted in the Bible. We'll have to see, because this ceasefire obviously is very fragile right now, but it could be history altering. Let me just highlight some headlines from the last few days. CNN headline says, Trump claims a forever peace in the land of forever war, but it could be fleeting. Fox News has a headline, Speaker Johnson. This is the Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives. Speaker Johnson says, we're on the verge of real peace in the Middle East. Fox Business headline says, Bank of America CEO reveals how Trump's historic Middle East peace deal is boosting the economy. You know, initially when all this war was breaking out there, people were afraid the stock market was going to tank and oil prices would soar. But right now the stock market is rising and gas prices are falling. The global market right now anticipates the future and sees peace on the horizon. Someone put it like this, the market loves resolution. And that's what they see happening. The Hill has a headline that says, Trump says Iran and Israel came to him and said peace. The article says this, Israel and Iran came to me, President Trump says, almost simultaneously and said peace. I knew the time was now. The world and the Middle East are the real winners. Both nations will see tremendous love, peace, and prosperity in their future. Now, President Trump posted on Truth Social, congratulations, world. It's time for peace. And the wave of peace appears to be spreading rapidly to the most unlikely places. Fox News has a headline that says momentum builds for Israel-Syria peace as Trump reboots regional diplomacy. The Times of Israel headline says, Israel in direct daily contact with Syria, exploring normalization. I mean, this is one of Israel's long-standing inveterate enemies. And they fought Syria in the first modern Jewish war in 1948. The third war in 1967, the Six-Day War, the fourth Jewish war against the Arabs in 1973 called the Yom Kippur War. Former U.S. Secretary of State Henry Kissinger once said this. It's one of his classic statements about Middle East diplomacy. He said, the Arabs can't make war without Egypt, and they can't make peace without Syria. In other words, you have to have Syria if there's going to be peace. Now, Egypt has been at peace with Israel since 1979, since the Camp David Accords. And of course, Jordan has been at peace with Israel since 1994. And if Syria were to follow in their footsteps, this would be unbelievable. It'd be a major, massive turning point that could again lead to this broader peace that's spoken of in the Bible.